but this one is an Ultra. And you've all seen the Heidelberg, and they'll say original Heidelberg here. This is older than that. In fact, this is kind of cool because right here it says made in the U.S. zone of Germany. Because after the war, there were 3 zones: the British zone, U.S. zone, and the.
So this did labels?
Yep.
So was it still being used when you started then? Or
yeah. Well, no, in 19. Well, I actually ran these as a kid.
You did. That's what I was getting.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Back in the 1920s.
I mean
when it was new.
But that could still work, right?
Yeah, we cut the motor mount off the back so we could get closer to the wall. But this actually, these presses ran where they used to have this like one big pulley down the middle, and you hook the belts to it so they'd have all presses running at the same time. So they had an individual clutch. But this was converted to a motor only. But yeah, if it had a motor on it now, it still would run.
And they cut labels?
Yeah, we die cut labels.
Send that son of a bitch to Kansas.
6 at a time.
6 at a time?
Yep. 3 A's, 3 B's.
Wow.
Well, oh, y'all did? Shit, that was a big job, huh? 100,000?
Yeah,
or more.
We're up to 170,000. Wow. Yeah.
From 170,000.
Wow. That was a popular record.
That blue, in fact, that's a one-of-a-kind one right there. Rob printed that on foil.
What, this?
Black Keys, yeah.
How many?
Oh yeah, wow.
That was 100,000 on the initial release, and when you see the size of these 40-inch presses and all sorts of stuff like that, you can see, well, they'll never be cheap.
Right.
Just the metal alone.
It's like a record press.
Right.
I don't even see how this what it does. I don't even, because I don't understand this. I don't even see where anything gets printed.
Paper would go in here. The gripper. Actually, I can make this turn.
Don't hurt yourself.
I won't hurt myself.
Oh wow.
So it would come up and close. It's holding the sheet. Now it's die cutting it. Like for fabrication, we ran a night shift.
Oh, I see.
And it comes back down. The windmill turns. It's getting ready to pick up a sheet here.
I see.
It picks up that sheet. That gripper closes. Boom. That one opens. Drops the sheet. The process begins again.
Oh, so that's not just that's the real piece of.
That's the die.
I
It would die
see.
cut the label.
Because it's a piece of wood. It's attached to a piece of wood.
Yep. It's cutting die.
So you got a sheet of 6 on there, looks like.
Yeah.
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 And those
so-
are those little pieces of foam
Yep.
that hold it.
They keep the sheet from sort of wrinkling up when it die cuts it.
Wow.
Oh, good.
No, seriously, I've gotten some.
But
It's a
this
great
is one of
product
the
line.
famous ones. This is
Gary.
7,000
Rob called us while it was on the press,
Yeah.
and he said, "Hey,
We got a couple
the
issues.
stereo looks a little odd. The stereo this." And then he took a picture with the cell, and the cell distorted the.
Distorted enough that they all look the same.
No, it looked really, really worse than it. It made it. The dimensions of it wasn't. And we were like, "Oh my God!" And then finally we figured it out that it wasn't really nothing wrong. It's just the way his camera took it. This shit's crazy. This searching for shit.
Yeah, yeah. That's also light. Isn't that Light in the Attic? I think.
Yes.
I mean,
Look at this. Look at this box set for Sleater Kinney.
Played on the movie was like,
Can you imagine
I mean,
this? Look at this. Is just.
It really is.
These are cassettes, right?
Those are cassettes.
You still do some of those?
Those are old style cassettes. So like the old style.
I haven't seen those. That
You
is
know
so
who
cool.
had us do them? Have you guys heard of Burger Records?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fullerton, right?
Yeah, we talked about them.
I was in Nashville, where
Oh, Light in the Attic did this one.
Yeah, well, this was Light in the Attic through Burger Records, and we did like 20 of their cassettes
Amazing.
all at one time.
What are these? Oh, they're compact discs. I forgot. I forgot what those were.
So y'all do as much jackets on one title than 25 of our titles. You know what I mean? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I never knew there was a Ween box set. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And I didn't know about this either. Yeah.
And a lot of it is stuff. is shitty
saw that
music.
note you had of the,
150,000.
Have you guys seen that Lee Hazelwood box set?
there's the album.
Have you seen it?
No,
No.
but I heard. I
The
talked.
box is just amazing.
Okay, do we want to do like a tour?
Didn't know about that.
You can look at all the
There's
shit
so
you wanna
much-
look at.
Light in the attic.
Yeah. They're good. Their packaging is really good. They really care.
I haven't seen this.
No. No, we're fixing to press all the.
We apply, we open the file. First thing we do is we make a copy of it. So we don't work on your file, we work on the copy just in case anything crashes. We've got yours. And it's on our server and stored that way. And there's 4 workstations, plus pre-press for downstairs, workflow. So they'll take whatever it is, say it's a gatefold. We apply it to our template, make sure that it's right. You got the wraps where the wrap's supposed to be, the spine on the spine, all that kind of crap. So we do that in here, or any of these stations. Jerry's station's on the other side there behind the wall.
That's probably collectible at this point.
It is.
You know that?
We just had a
Wow, look at that.
tour. We just had a tour from Cal Poly, from the graphic arts designers, and so Jerry pulled that out, fired it up, and put "Welcome Broncos" because it's the Cal Poly Pomona Broncos,
Does it
and they're
still
all
work?
like, "What's that?"
It still works.
Yeah, I hadn't fired it up in 12 years, and he
I
popped it up.
had one of those.
What year is that?
80.
That's 83 or something like that.
You know,
It's probably- I think it's later than that.
You know what I mean? Like,
Life changes so quickly.
I think it's later than 83, but it's certainly.
I mean, look at the monitor. I mean, what we rolled with this.
That was
until-
everything, Chad.
Like a linen kind of thing?
Book cloth.
Book cloth?
Remember books?
Yeah.
Do you remember books?
Oh, I love books.
Before the Kindle came out, they used to have these things that were printed and they're all bound up and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they burned all those.
Now this is done. You do this here, or is that?
No, we actually had to have this done because we don't do any silks.
Yeah, who does the box? You make the boxes here too?
Some of them we make here, some of them we use an outside source. Again, it's specialty equipment, and you don't necessarily want all that equipment if it ain't running all the time.
Oh, you know, there was one thing I learned in Ben's video. Oh, that looks nice.
10-inch foil stamp.
That's that guy.
The Rodriguez. Look
Yeah.
at that's beautiful.
Wow.
High fidelity.
There's no end to the beauty of all of this stuff.
Well,
It's great it wasn't lost. It's just fantastic that it is.
it's great it wasn't lost.
What is this? Who is this?
I haven't seen the whole thing.
Is the spider on the side?
She's amazing. I actually
What the hell is the name of this band? We printed the jacket about 6 times.
It's
Rob,
touch and go.
what the hell was the name of this band?
Slint. That's a good band too.
Now we choose to send it for low resolution proof, 6 color, or high resolution proof, 11 color. And these are matched to the press. So the color that you see on here will be the color that produces on the press. We do this PCM where we measure dot gain on different formats. We make a curve so we can bring down mid-tone dots or high-end dots or whatever, so we can reproduce what's on that proof exactly on the press first try. So that file is now saved and locked that we did the proof by.
Is that with the proof?
Yeah, proof that'd be a low res, that'd be a high res proof there. And now it's locked and saved for you to tell us it's okay to go. And now we make plates. This here now in the house that Elvis built. And we put that in that article that was in the Times. And people were calling us, can we come visit the house that Elvis built? Okay.
Studio B in Nashville.
Yeah, exactly, because when we were at 124 next door, when Elvis died, and my dad had been eyeing this lot to buy this lot and build a building on that suited us better instead of an as-built move-in, da-da-da. So we ran literally for 9 months, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, printing everything Elvis. We were printing all the labels for RCA. We were printing them at that point in time. There was, Bill Smith, Waddell, Molinard, PRC, Rainbow, RTI, K&M, Alshire. They were all here pressing records. And we would literally have them in the back of our truck, and which one are you pressing? Okay, pick a box of this. That'll keep you busy for like next 10 hours. And literally, with the cash money, Dad bought the lot, built the building, and bought a new press.
All because that was like in
70.
yeah.
Yeah, wow.
August.
Amazing.
So now the files come over that were proof, from, they queue up in this system here. So, and again, this is a cockpit station from the Heidelberg workflow. So they're here. Now, Chad has given the okay on a job, so we pull it up online here in the queue and we send it here automatically. This is a plate cassette. It holds plates in it. Our plates, of course, we print offset, which is basically an extension of the way the Chinese invented wet stone lithography 2,500 years ago. They used a wet volcanic stone that would hold water. They would write their characters in wax. Then they could take ink and use a roller and roll it across their characters, and the water would keep that background wet. Because of the stone, the ink would stick to the wax and they could print the copy.
Wow.
Meanwhile, Gutenberg was still trying to mess around to create movable type. And the Chinese basically invented what became, and they called it wet stone lithography, became offset lithography years later. Our plates, when we look at a plate out there in the press room, has a background that can accept water and has a polymer on it that accepts ink. So when we send the file here, the plate is picked up automatically. It goes in that part that's upright. It vacuums it so it's perfectly clean. It exposes it in a positive way. So it exposes the background and burns that off. So now it's what we refer to as a positive plate. It says a sharper dot, prints cleaner, prints sharper, etc. And the plate automatically goes in by a bridge to this processor. It's processed and comes out there where Rob is standing. Is there a plate in there, Rob? No. Comes out there untouched by human hands. The effluent from this is basically like soapy. It's a, what do I want to call it? pH negative. So we actually inject citrus acid into it to make it pH neutral, so it can go right into the sewer system, very clean.
So it's base, and then you make it alkaline, or you neutralize it.
We neutralize
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So this is a plate, okay?
Big
so,
Star #1 record,
so
folks.
This is punched by the plate machine. This polymer accepts ink. The background, which you feel has like kind of a velvety touch. If you looked at this with like a high-powered glass, yeah, you can touch it. It looks like the surface of the moon, but it takes water. So the ink that wants to stick on the dots on the polymer and the water repel each other, so it keeps it clean. Hence, offset lithography. Then it's transferred on the press to a rubber blanket, and then the sheet is squeezed between that rubber blanket and an impression cylinder, and we print. Now, all of the data that made this is sent via intranet to the press. So the pressman simply calls up that color, hangs that plate, hangs those plates, hits go, and it sets the ink fountains all automatically to match that proof.
Wow.
That's the balance. So we had to build a film library, and we had at its peak about 65,000 sets of film in here. And so we made this locator system that basically made everything by sort of an alphanumeric system. So like Erica got their own thing, Eureka Packaging, Pioneer Video Manufacturing, Image Entertainment, all these different customers had their own, and then there was just the commercial stuff. So we could go in the computer system, look it up, and it would give us a bin location, and we just go pull out that file, and inside there was the film. These are all film still. Was the film on flats.
So like, what is that one, just out of curiosity, just that you pulled up?
Pioneer Entertainment.
As a laser disc?
8-page booklet for a laser disc.
So you did.
I think you can get rid of that now.
So you did all that laser disc stuff,
what?
right?
We would get rid of it. Two things. One, it's got silver nitrate in it, so now it's a hazardous material if we go to haul it off. So that's cause one.
Bring it to
But every
Kansas.
once in a while, every one of these things will be converted to an album, and we have the original source
So is
material.
it like a,
Was a pioneer to an album, to vinyl?
To vinyl.
That's a laser disc.
Yeah.
Well, the soundtrack,
But
the soundtrack.
or the you know, some of them were of concerts, and now they want to put the booklet back out, and we get the film for the booklet.
Do you gig them for that when they They ask for it,
Sure,
or
we don't give it away. And of course, if it's
Who
if it's,
gives
say,
anything away?
Pioneer, if it's Pioneer, they don't exist anymore, so we can say, okay, we got it. But if it's like Capital wants it, you know, wants to do it now, and it belonged to RCA, you got to get a release from RCA because it's not ours to give away. You know?
Is that the way that Blade Runner was done? Did you
Yeah.
have to, really?
Yeah.
they sold a shitload of that Blade Runner.
Still
I can't
pressing
believe-
it.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
On vinyl? The vinyl
Yeah,
sold?
yeah,
the red
like-
now, right?
We're up
Yeah.
to about 12,000.
That's a great, it sounds fantastic. Wow.
And I would expected more of this and less of that, but man, did y'all clean up for us or what?
This is probably a clean room, right?
I told Jack this morning, I said, man, I wish we would have cleaned up a little bit more.
This
Really?
is not like a pressing plant.
Jack, y'all cleaned up for us?
No. We're a working plant, man.
Wow, look at this.
This is hell.
We're a working plant.
This is where your magic comes together.
So this record sells pretty well, I guess. Look at
Rumor
that.
has it.
Look at that.
So this is our 6-color 29 press. So we can print the jackets like this.
How many is a stack like that?
That's about 2,200. So we print this like this. This happens to be 18.1426, and it comes right out the press, and there's no handling to go into the machine for die cut, fold, and glue. So
Man, that looks good.
Is that the 33 or the 45?
it's the 33.
33, yeah.
45 is the gatefold with
Yeah.
So that's 2,500. I mean, that's 10,000, 15,000.
11,000 pieces.
And when you see this, and then you read the numbers in the newspapers about how many records are sold, they're so off.
They
There's
are.
so many more.
Yeah.
See,
They are.
Frummer called all the pressing plants and got them to tell them the numbers.
How many records did you press last year? So
Right.
I have 33 million records were pressed last year.
Right, but the common people go by sound scan, which is
Right.
the worst
Ridiculous.
thing.
Right.
It's
So each one of these zones can be open and closed individually. So if there's heavy blue over here, we would print this black, blue, red, yellow and have both ends open for a 5th color, 6th color combination. So you control this automatically. You can control it via a USB driven flash drive, or in the case of the new press, automatically via the intranet. All the information comes in, so as you hang the plates, and this has auto plate hangers and all sort of stuff, as you hang the plates, the press is setting itself up so the color on those first sheets comes out very, very close to, if not exactly, as the proof looked like. If you like the proof, you like what you see here. Auto plate hangers, the colors will hang within about 3/1000ths of an inch to each other, so very, very little movement as far as that is concerned. And between the ink fountain and the plate cylinder down here, there's 21 rollers that take the ink. There are various diameters and break it down to a very, very thin film. And that thin film is so thin, the reason for that is so we can control it. Because if the film is too heavy, too thick, then you can't control it. You have emulsification problems, which water is entering into the ink, and the ink won't print right, it won't dry right, it won't have the right rub resistance, all kinds of stuff. So it's a control balance. So the ink goes from darkest to lightest, black to yellow, and it also goes from stiffest to softest because they sit on top of each other. Ben, you saw the dots?
Yeah.
Okay, so those dots are printed in this sequence, and they're in a rosette pattern, so they're sitting on top of each other, and where they intersect slightly, you'll have a yellow and a blue. They intersect slightly and they make green, or the yellow and the red intersect and make orange, and that's all controlled in those files. And this, again, this is the way of the wet stone. There's first water, which is in this refrigerated fountain here. Water goes on the plate as the cylinder's turning, so it's got that wet. Then the form rollers drop, boom, we print.
Is that the watch that Chad bought?
No, my wife got me this one.
Who knows what this stuff is?
This is paper. This is from the 70s, man. Let's see.
They look like, you could tell.
Copyright 1970
You could-
Atlantic Record, Atco, Blue Mountain Eagle.
Produced by Bill Halverson, no, Raleigh Hiders, and Bill Halverson engineered it. So you know this is going to sound great.
But it looks, I mean, it looks.
Art design direction, Gary Burden.
Gary Burden, sure.
Seeing that at a record
You ever heard
store,
of this?
thinking I'll buy that.
Is it?
this one.
No, I haven't.
I never saw this record in
Special
my
thanks
life.
to
Ahmet Erdogan.
David Geffen.
And David Geffen. And Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein.
He must have been 12 years old at that point.
No, he's
I've never seen that record. I've seen every record ever made in the 70s, but I never saw that one.
So,
Look how many they pressed. How many? That's a run of what? 10,000 altogether.
It's not that many.
Five-
This is
5,000?
This is make ready also, make ready sheets.
Oh, I see. What's
I
under
don't
here?
remember how many. That's not the job bag. I don't know what the job bag is.
I said we
Drag City.
Oh, there's the John Wesley Harding from over.
screens all in there.
It's their SACD.
Oh, here we go. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Like this one is only 500. So.
What record is that? That's a different record. What is,
Yeah, this is a different
who
one.
is that?
Yeah.
See how the neutral
Do you know does it show the DC number on it?
Nidel Torresi. Don't know her.
Okay, so this is our cutting system. Everything is obviously computer driven. From the time we get your file till the time it's out the door, there's computers. There's computers that control the press, there's computers that control the color and the color flow in, there's computers that control the trimming. So this is an automatic lifting device that comes here. You saw this thing vibrating. It's jogging the sheets. They're floating on air. All of this flow system comes here to cut. Because we print the same product in the same spot on the sheet, when it's on the sheet, we'll check. You saw that little pile getting trimmed. He just wants to check to make sure that everything is right first, and then he runs and trims all that. So they'll trim all that, stack it on tables, roll it into the next area, which is where we do the fabrication. So this is the new press. This is a Heidelberg 6-color CD Next Gen.
Unfortunate name. CD.
Yeah, CD. Yeah, computer or Kartendruck in the German. So it's able to print thicker boards and cardboards. So this works the same technology. This can print up to 40-point board. Anybody can step up here. Wants to step up here.
Can you see with the naked eye quality difference with this new press?
With the naked eye, no. If I got it on like a 50 power glass or something, I can see differences.
So you're using both presses still?
Oh, yeah.
Depending on the job?
Yeah.
Is it more expensive to use this press? Because of
On a rate per hour, yeah, this sells for more money because it's twice as big. This is 40 across and 28 around. That one's 20 and a half around and 29 across. So
How big of a piece you can print on this?
28 and 3/8 by 41.
20 by 41.
28.
But for a record,
Y'all
it wouldn't make any difference.
Now we can print 3 record jackets on here. We can print 1 over there.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Do y'all do posters and things?
And booklets. And
Now, how noisy? What decibel level does it get when both presses are running?
fairly quiet, all things considered. This press here is so mechanically quiet, it's ridiculous. They have really done a good job in isolating, and that's why this is next gen. Heidelberg came out about 4 years ago with a press that they referred to as the XL, and this is the first generation of the CD press built on the XL side frame. So it's got
What do they
different
call it every
variances.
4 years? The what cycle?
Drupa.
The Drupa?
Drupa.
Yeah, okay.
And what is the ink made out of?
I just
Is it
learned that.
soybean oil? or
Ours
something?
are soy. Yeah,
couldn't
we
use
are
it, but I forgot.
very clean. We are alcohol free
So you waited 4
and
years
have been
and
since
got-
Your presses are. You're not though.
A lot better.
Yeah.
the presses are alcohol free. And I'm soybean free. How's
Okay.
that?
Yeah, it's your good life.
Since I was here.
Yeah, we're still working on this wall back there. I'll show you what that is. So the same kind of thing happens here. The same ink zone controls, all that sort of stuff. But one of the reasons they went to this XL style is for the speed. This press will run 15,000 sheets an hour. The old style presses ran about 10 flat out. This thing will cruise at 15 with the right product. It's quieter, it's got different bearing surfaces, they got wider bearings, you can independently control a lot of things, and this was made for all of the computer stuff instead of the computer stuff being added into it, because the other presses came out in the mid-70s that did not have computers. Computers were added and added and added.
Yeah.
This was
Your staff to get up to speed and run this thing.
actually remarkably about 6 days.
Wow.
How many pieces?
doing
How many
training.
pieces does it come in? I mean, is it?
Well, each printing unit comes separate. The delivery comes and feeder comes separate, and then there's a whole shitload of other parts.
Did-
It was a month to install.
Who puts it together?
Heidelberg.
They come and they send people to do it.
The 4 years Drupa thing was a big difference. If you'd have bought
Oh, yeah.
the one before.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is the only press of its kind in the U.S.
Wow.
Really?
They're installing, beginning next week, another one in Maine, and then there's 2 going in the Midwest to one guy near Battle Creek who prints boxes for
Kellogg's?
cereal.
Yeah, Kellogg's. Yeah.
And I can't remember where the other one's going, but this is the first one. When they built this, they built 5. 3 of them went to Germany, 1 to Austria, and this one here.
I couldn't show you the previous room because it's proprietary. That's where they do all of the packaging and folding but this is where you trim.
Look right here. This is
That's it.
Yeah.
I see.
this is trim.
That's the trim.
And where's that trimmed
I'll
from?
put it right here.
From- I see.
Open into the
I
box.
See
see.
this?
It's so cool looking.
He puts it so. And you got to use this thing so you don't.
Yeah.
Your fingers don't look
Yeah.
like this.
It's square.
Yeah.
We have to use 2 fingers here to operate it, so.
So you don't
and
get-
This is a light screen. So
Yeah.
anything that reaches in there shuts.
So every single record, every single one has to go in there, one at a time or 5 at
These
a
kind.
Pops.
Only
stack
this
at a
type
time.
though, right?
Yeah.
The
And
tip
you'll notice in the video, he turns the top one over so it doesn't pull off.
But look how great that looks. I mean, that just looks.
Trim it off.
Can I show this?
Yeah.
What is this?
This is making our direct-to-board jackets. This is called a Winkler record sleeve machine.
So this is the old school, the old new school of
Yeah,
like
this-
shore pack type things.
Exactly. Shorewood made them the shore pack.
Yeah.
Ivy Hill made the Ivy pack. We made the Jack pack. Same thing. They're
Yeah.
all basically the same designs, but this is the direct-to-board machine.
And you know, when that happened, I remember when that happened. That's when I said records, it's not what it used to be. It's
Right.
going to shit.
Right.
And they would fall apart,
Yep.
and you could see all the insides, you could see all the color things, and
Yep. Color bars and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So that will take the flat sheet, die cut, fold, and glue it, and make this record jacket.
yet the reproduction of the color still looks fantastic.
Oh yeah, the print quality is fine.
See, it was never a gatefold. You know what I mean? We got all these photos in Capitol, which ain't easy. Got it.
So it takes the flat sheet, rotary die cut, scores the spine,
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
folds in, puts the glue on it, goes up a
know,
folding gate,
sometimes it's
folds,
just,
stops here, trims it off square, and that's a record.
Automatically. So that saves a lot. That saves a considerable amount of money.
Why they're cheaper,
Right.
which is why they don't look as good,
Right.
feel as good, have that tactile feel that,
Yeah.
that a real jacket has,
Yeah,
the old
yeah,
style jackets.
yeah.
And that's why with all the hands on it, you can have 2 operators run this machine and it'll make about 7,000 jackets an hour.
Wow.
Start telling me, 'cause
One of those lines makes about 2,000 a day and there's 20 people in there.
Wow.
You hear that, Chad?
No wonder it's more
Okay.
expensive.
2 operators run this machine, it'll make 7,000 jackets an hour.
An hour.
Each one of those 2 lines there will do about 2,000 a day, so out of those 3 lines we can make about 6,000. There's 20 people operating in there, between there.
That's the tip on. I'm talking to the people at home. That's the tip on jackets.
So this is what our single blanks look like. And that creates the spine, and then that folds over and glues, and because that folds over with the paper, then there's no seam on the inside, and it's thick, the thickness of it. And the way these are done is part of our patent.